Hi everybody, I'm Jeff To, Global Head of Insurance at Salesforce, and it is a pleasure to welcome John Joseph, Chief Strategy Officer of Transamerica Financial Network. Welcome.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Could you tell us about your role and your organization?
Absolutely. So I'm the Chief Strategy Officer for Transamerica Financial Network. We're actually headquartered out of Johns Creek, Georgia, near the North Georgia Mountains. We are a distribution organization for financial services. We have representatives and agents throughout all of the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico.
Tell us about some recent transformation projects you've been working on.
Yeah, we have quite a bit going on. So as head of strategy for TFN, my job is basically to work on the business platform. So when I interact with our field agents and our registered representatives, I always tell them my job is to basically create the business platform using technology is going to help them grow their business.
Right.
So basically, I take all the technology initiatives, I match it up with our business growth objectives, and then we put all that in place to really form the foundation for our agents, right, and our field force,
Right.
and their end clients and their customers. So some of the things we're working on right now with Salesforce is really starting to connect all of our agents to their data. It's data that belongs to them, and what we're trying to do is transition to where we can say, look, take this pot of data and all of this data that belongs to you and your clients, and let's take a look at how we could use this to help grow your business in a very entrepreneurial type way as they continue to serve their families at the end of the day.
So why did you embark on this transformation? What were some of the key drivers and what was the feedback from your end users?
So what we were finding is as they're out there growing a business and serving the needs of their clients, and we call it Families Help. So what we do is we help families at the end of the day.
Got it.
And there was a desperate need out there for how to consolidate and really build everything onto a platform that sort of got one common user experience where they can go in there and solve all of their needs, whether it's actually growing the business, helping a family, bringing other people into the business, servicing the business long afterwards, and it's what we call Families for Life. What they were having to do is go all over the place, multiple carriers, multiple websites, all over the place to get the information they need to grow their business, and they're really looking for a common experience, a common platform, because if it makes sense, they want to spend less time on the administrative side of the business, but in the right way, so that they can spend more time sitting kneecap to kneecap with their families.
That's right. You mentioned the families and the end consumer.
Yes.
What's the anticipated impact that it's going to have on their experience?
So this is where I think it really gets exciting for us and our field force. So right now they have day-to-day interactions, and really when you're in a financial services business, it's about growing a business, but it's really about the interaction you have on a consistent, continuous basis with the families that you help. So you don't want to just help the family once and then just see them once in a while later. You actually want to grow with them as their lives change and as they grow through the dynamics of their life too as a family. Whether they start off at one point in life and then they go through and there's decisions that have to be made as they continue. So we want to be there with them. Well, what this is allowing our field force to do is take all of the information in building that relationship and basically have it at their fingertips so that they can use data to complement their personal interaction as a reminder, but also really just as a wealth of information to say, here's the family I have in front of me. And I can now have interaction with everything, every time I've interacted with them, everything that's ever been sold to them, everything that I've helped them with, every conversation I had is now documented as part of a sort of a package of information that I could use to really develop that relationship.
Got it. So it's a seamless experience for your end users,
Yes.
the field force, but it's also a seamless experience for the end consumer, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And at the end of the day, the clients themselves are more comfortable because the agent that they're dealing with is way more prepared to engage them on a regular basis. So long after I meet you the first time and we start working together in financial services industry, the clients, the end consumer, they want to know that you've stayed engaged with me, that I'm still special to you.
That's right.
They want to feel important because we all want to be important at the end of the day. We all want to feel special. So what we're trying to do is use the Salesforce platform and the data to help complement that relationship to where the agent can maintain those engagements throughout the year over the course of the lifetime of the relationship with the client.
Got it. So if we look at the technology behind the solution, what are some key components that you were essential in delivering this vision?
So it's interesting, we started off, when we first started with Salesforce, we started with the Service Cloud. And we started looking at how can we just answer questions from our agents to help them grow their business. Then we started thinking to ourselves, wow, there's a lot more to this. And we started getting into Customer Community Plus, we got into Partner Community, and we started building these platforms for our agents, recognizing that, wow, there's really a wealth of things and knowledge that could be had from having these instances stood up for them. Then we kind of transitioned to said, you know what, we're not done yet. So we went to Financial Services Cloud. So we pulled everybody from our field force into FSC. So if you have a life license now, life insurance license, we put you on the FSC seat. And what that does is now it opens up really unlimitless boundaries, basically, of information that was never available to them before, that now we can push to them. And then we're having it actually pulled from other directions as well. So we're in partnerships with, say, iPipeline and their Agent One product, and we're going to pull information from manufacturing entities that we've never had before. Now what you're starting to do is really develop the totality of the relationship as an agent with the family that they're helping at the end of the day, and all because of that base platform of FSC. We even started taking a look at how do we serve the questions from our field force. Do we just go massive call centers? Actually, the answer is no. It needs to be self-help, very organic, very dynamic, 7/24-hour environment, so they continue to grow their business.
Got it. So technology is one aspect of your transformation. How about the people side? And how many end users are we talking about here?
So right now, throughout North America, we have over 40,000 end users actually on the platform right now in one form, shape, or capacity. And we have them at different stages. So we might have a Partner Community Plus platform for some things. Then we have full seat FSC for other things. And there's capability sets depending upon where they are as an agent within our business model, right? So what they're able to do is take that technology set and we're able to divide it and make sure that everybody's needs are kind of met in different ways. We have all, and then what we did is we said, okay, what are the other products or services or partners that we're doing business with, and how do we start integrating them into the platform? Right. So now if you start looking at it that way, you have one, as a matter of fact, I'm starting to use the term ecosystem. So now we are driving everybody to one ecosystem where, whether they realize it or not, at the end of the day, they're in the Salesforce ecosystem conducting business.
Got it. So that's a pretty large user base.
Yes.
How do you get them to adopt the solution?
So the adoption philosophy, that is actually number one. That's what I call the adoption philosophy. There's no one answer to that question. The adoption philosophy starts internally with the culture you set within the organization. So first it might be as simple as me asking everybody around me to get involved in Trailhead, to start building up the internal confidence, understanding of the capability set of both themselves and the platform itself, and what it is we're able to do. Then you start engaging the field force and say, well, what are your needs and wants? What is it you would like to see to help families at the end of the day? What are you trying to do in building your business? Then when you start pulling those things together, you start developing your adoption philosophy. So the way we do it is we try to find the ways where it would not make sense for you not to be within this ecosystem. So in other words, you could go here to do something, you could go here, you could go here, and you can go here, which you've been doing for years. Right. And you could continue to do, or you could go here and have this unified experience, and oh, by the way, after you take a look at that, you could be helping more families at the end of the day. So sometimes when you're doing all of this and you're still using notebooks and paper to get things done, you're not really growing the business that you would like to do. You're not really helping as many families as you'd like to help.
Right. So it's really the carrot, not so much the stick in driving adoption.
Driving adoption for us, because we are an independent contractor model. So the difference is with independent contractors, you really don't want it to be a forcing function. You want it to be an adoption philosophy.
Got it.
How do you drive them onto the platform to the degree to which it doesn't make sense for them to do it any other way?
Got it.
And then ask them what their challenges are and say, I have a fix for that. It's within this ecosystem.
So looking to the future, what technologies or use cases get you really excited?
So right now, Einstein Analytics is pretty exciting for us. What it is you can do with artificial intelligence, and what the future of that means for us. I think the improvements I've seen just at this Dreamforce for FSC is pretty phenomenal. The voice capabilities we've seen with Einstein, and how every time I see something new from Salesforce and I see the use cases, for us it's an engagement between our agents and the families they're helping. It's keeping in touch with them and how they're doing it, while it's by voice, by chatter. How is that contained, and how do we manage that within the ecosystem for them at the end of the day? So I think the discussions around ethical responsibilities of artificial intelligence and those kinds of things, and Einstein Analytics, that is what excites me at the end of the day as to what's next.
Last question. For those who are embarking on similar digital transformation efforts as you have underway, what words of advice would you give? Best practices, or how to overcome common challenges?
You know, I'll say a couple of things that really you're going to hear from a lot of folks, but it really is something you have to take to heart. First of all, it does start both at it's cultural revolution within your organization. It's definitely change management. It's a shift. It's a mindset difference. It starts at both the top and the bottom of the organizations, and it has to merge. You are going to test the boundaries of where people are in their comfort zones. And here's the key. For me, it was, don't worry so much about the fact that it's changed, but what is it personally and professionally going to do for you to make you better than you were yesterday? And when you're better than when you were yesterday, then you can capture the excitement in order to help your customer. It's almost like, I'm going to help you first, and then before you know it, you're helping your customer and you don't even realize it.
John Joseph, Chief Strategy Officer of Transamerica Financial Network, thank you so much for joining us at Dreamforce.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.